Hey everyone, I'm Lindsey, owner of Black Sapphire Design. Formerly a costume company, I am here now teaching you how to make your own dance costumes and accessories for your hardest working dancers. In the next few videos, I'll be showing you how to make one of our best-selling leotards from our website from the past few years, and we'll be making it in this gorgeous floral mesh. In today's video, part of our series on how to make a leotard, I will be showing you how to actually sew together the pieces. We are using a straight stitch machine today. After threading your machine, you'll want to test out the tension, make sure that the machine is working properly. Use a scrap from when you cut out your leotard so you're actually using the same type of material that you'll be stitching on. Here we're just finishing the edges of the bandeau. First we'll be serging the edge and then top stitching in the next step. Make sure you never run over any pins, especially when serging. This could cause injury by pins breaking or even breaking your blade. With a serger, you do need to leave a thread tail on the machine in order for it to stitch properly at the next stitch. I do like to trim the thread ends as I go along, just to make cleanup easier later on. For the briefs, you'll first serge together the side seams and the crotch seam, then finish each leg opening with the serger. In this step, make sure you're paying attention to which way your seams are facing, the ones that you're crossing over. Seams should always go towards the back of your project, so side seams go towards the back, crotch seam goes towards the back. Next, we're working with the mesh bodice. You'll want to serge the shoulder seams and the side seams. You may have to adjust your tension on your machine for just mesh versus a seam that does have lycra and mesh in it. Turn and fold the edges of your bandeau so you can top stitch them. Sorry for the blurriness, I was still learning how to use the camera. If you're more comfortable at this step, you can always pin over this edge first. Pin perpendicular to the edge. And then of course remove the pins before running that part through the sewing machine. For leg openings in briefs or leotards, you do want a slight stretch on the elastic. Nothing too tight because it can be uncomfortable for the dancer, but we do need to add elastic to that area. Use what's comfortable for you. I do prefer a 3/8 inch knit elastic that's partly made out of cotton, but you can also use a 1/4 inch. You can use braided. You can use polyester. It does not matter. When placing your elastic for the start of the leg opening, you want to go close to the inside crotch seam I usually try to do towards the back so that it's hidden. It's important to not stretch the first and last ½ inch of the elastic where you're overlapping. Otherwise, you'll have a curl there. There is an alternate method of elastic for the leg holes. You can cut a piece of elastic 2 to 3 inches smaller than the opening, sew the ends to make a circle, and then stretch that accordingly while you sew it into your leg hole. And always check your work before moving on to the next step. Take a moment to check your work, clip any thread tails, and then lay your bandeau flat on a surface. Then, according on your design, lay your leotard flat on top of it, line up your edges, your corners, any other key points, make sure the centers match, pin around the edges, and then we're ready to take this over to the straight stitch machine. Work from the right side of the leotard. Follow the edges of your bandeau. A lot of the time with the mesh, it's a bit more see-through than this, so I am using my fingers to guide me on where to top stitch. At the center front, since we do have a sweetheart design, you want to put your needle down into the fabric and pivot like you would around a quarter. And here you'll see that I actually sewed over another piece of the leotard. I noticed right away though, so I was able to fix it. All I did was take my seam ripper and pick out the last few stitches. And then I went back over that with my straight stitch machine and I blended the stitches right in. You'll see I backstitched just a couple to make sure that my stitches were locked in. You can also use a zigzag machine here. You can use a cover stitch machine as well if you have straight edges on your bandeau. Next, we're going to pin the briefs to the bodice. Easiest way is to keep your briefs right side out, turn your bodice wrong side out, matching the right sides obviously, match up your centers, your side seams, pin in between, and then base that edge. This is another area where you'll want to make sure your seams are facing the right direction when you're sewing over them. And that's it for this video. In the next one, we'll go over all the finishing steps, including cover stitching the leg openings, sewing in tags, sewing in the back neck clasp, and any other finishing touches.
Video, like and subscribe, follow us over on social media, and let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to see covered next. Bye!